reached out to a company called Boeshield. They make stuff called T-9. It's a waterproof lubricant for pretty much anything, any kind of metal. Engines, electrical circuits, deck hardware. That's for marine applications. Bicycle, chains, cables, pedals, tools, saw, tabletops, lathes and bits, hand tools, automotive, engine, electrical, undercarriage, RV, jack stands, slide outs, sleeps and awnings, household, garage doors, locks and hinges, garden equipment. You can use this stuff on anything. I reached out to them, told them, you know, I'd like to do a review on their product. I usually use paste wax on my table saw, but I wanted to try this out. They said, sure, good deal. They sent me the T-9. They also sent the bottle of Rust Free, which removes rust and stain from your table saw top or whatever you need rust removed from. They also sent blade and bit cleaner. It removes resin, gum, and pitch from saw blades, router bits, and cutting tools. In the package, they also sent this awesome t-shirt, which I'm wearing, supporting them right now. They also sent 2 big stickers, 2 little stickers, and then they sent a, it's pretty much the T-9 story, how to apply it, how to use it, their guarantee, what it can be used on, which I've already mentioned that. So let's get started. I've got a little bit of rust on my tabletop. I think we'll do it first, and then we'll move on to cleaning our saw blades. So what I'm doing right here is I'm applying the rust-free cleaner, rust remover, to the saw top. Just spray this on pretty liberally. If you got light rust, it doesn't take that much, but if you got heavy rust, spray a good amount of it on there, and make sure you get everything covered up that you want removed. And this stuff stinks. Now I'm going to come back and scrub this top to remove all this rust. I had to open my shop door, the bay door, because that stuff is loud. It smells like chemical mixed with, I don't even want to say. But it removed the majority of the rust and stains off the top. There's a ring, if you can see it right there, right beside the throat plate. It's still there. I think some of it might have come up, but I just have to reapply it and try to get that off of there. But yeah, this stuff worked pretty good. I'm just gonna scrub it pretty good there. You can see the dark grime and all that stuff mixed in with this rust free. But yeah, it cleaned it pretty good. I was thoroughly impressed with the rust free, removing all the rust off the table saw. I didn't have much on there, but because I usually clean mine and apply paste wax to it, but what was on there, it did come off. It did come off pretty easy. after scrubbing that top with that rust-free and a Scotch-Brite pad, I just come back and remove all of that material off of there, all that rust-free. Just wipe it off. As soon as we get this wiped off here, we'll go on to the next step. After I wiped off all the rust free, I did notice that I don't know if it was a chemical reaction with the cast iron and the rust free rust remover, but I just took a damp rag and went back over this and got all that crud and everything off of there. Like I said, I don't know if it was a reaction or if it's supposed to do that, but I didn't like it, so I went back and wiped it all off with a damp rag. Right here, I'm applying the T-9 rust and corrosion protectant to the top of the saw. I went on pretty liberally with it before I read the back of the can. I don't think I had to go with this much, but I did. But I did end up going back and wiping the excess off so I could let this stuff dry. But yeah, I kind of went kind of crazy with it. And here I am, about to wipe it off and get rid of it. So after I wiped it off, it probably took about, I don't know, I'd say probably 10 minutes where it was dry to the touch, to where I could probably actually, run some wood through it just to test it out, see how slick it was. But I'm thoroughly impressed with this Boeshield. This is what I'll be using from now on, I'm sure. The paste wax did a good job, but I don't know. I like how this goes on. I like the rust remover that comes with it. So I'll probably be using that from now on. Alright, first impression, this stuff stinks. It smells like, I don't even want to say what it smells like. I watched a review video on this on YouTube, but I don't remember who did the review. But they also talked about how bad this stuff smells. Did it work? It worked great. It got every bit of rust off my saw. I still have a couple of marks. I bought this saw secondhand, so when I got it, it had, there's a ring on it where the previous owner set, a cold soda down maybe. But I could have sprayed it again and worked a little harder to get the rust, but it got all the rust off. There's a couple spots here on the front of the cast iron. I might have to do a little bit more looking into that to see what that actually is. I don't think it's I don't think it's rust. It's caked on there too thick, but it worked great. I sprayed it on and I scrubbed it off. They recommend using a Scotch-Brite pad, and that's what I used here, and it worked great. It got every bit of rust off of the tabletop. Wiped all that off. It did leave a white streaking on my tabletop. I don't know if that was a chemical reaction to the, maybe I used too much. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it right. I don't know. But I did come back with a very, very, very damp, and I mean very, not very much, rag, and kind of wiped some of that stuff off, and most of it came up. But the T-9, I sprayed it on pretty liberally, and then I looked at the back of the can, and it says, you know, it has to dry. If you sprayed it on liberally, wipe the excess off. So that's what you'll do. You'll wipe the excess off, and you'll allow this thing to dry. I guess if you were needing to use your table saw right after, it says it varies on how long it takes it to dry, where I guess what the temp is, the humidity. But it seems like it's drying pretty fast. So it's been on there. I wiped it off probably 10 minutes ago. But we'll see how this holds up. Next, we're going to do the blade and bit cleaner. I've got a blade back here that's got a pretty built up with pitch and gum and everything. We're gonna try this out and see how well it cleans it. So we're gonna try out this blade and bit now. It removes resin, gum, and pitch from your saw blades. The directions say to apply it, wetting the surface thoroughly and let it set for 30 to 60 seconds. And it also says that if your blade is rusty, that you can use the rust-free on the blade, go through that same process as the table saw top, and then use the Boeshield T-9 to protect the blade. So let's go ahead and spray this on here, and we'll let it set for about a minute, and then wipe it off and see what we got. See you guys in a minute. So I went ahead and sprayed both sides of this. The first side that I sprayed has been sitting, I don't know, a couple minutes. We're gonna start wiping here and see what happens. And this might take more than one time here. It's getting the majority of it, but there's a lot of it that's not coming off. It's taking the paint off the blade though. I'll get you guys down here in here closer. Let me flip this camera. So it's removing a lot of it, but as you can see behind this tooth right here, there's still some remaining on there. So might have to scrub a little bit instead of just wiping dry. Okay, so my advice would be to let this sit for about 5 minutes. There's still a little bit behind the teeth, but worked a lot better letting it sit longer. Now, I don't know if that has an effect on your blade or not, but I will say that you are going to have to clean in between your teeth if you want this blade to be spotless. But this stuff does work. I'm impressed. A lot of people don't clean their blades. They just throw them away and buy new ones. And I'm one of those people. But this is a pretty good blade right here. It's a Diablo. Not sponsored by them. But yeah, I'm impressed with it. Just want to say thank you to Boeshield for sending me this awesome product, man. It's T-9 protectant lubricant for your table saw. It can be used for a number of things. I listed everything at the beginning of the video, but I know that, you know, I'm a woodworker, and this is a woodworking channel and a woodworking following. So you're mostly going to use it on your table saw top, your joiner, your planer bed, you know, anything that you're trying to protect and give a slick top to. Try this out, man. I haven't run a piece of wood through there to see how it glides yet, but I've run my hand across it and it's pretty slick. And if it protects against rust, then hey, I'm all for it. I'll be using this from now on. The rust free worked great. It's loud. It's got a pretty bad smell to it, but it works. And it says on the bottle, fast, powerful, and easy. It is all three: fast, powerful, and easy. I've got my Diablo blade soaking with the blade and bit cleaner for a second round. It works great too. I mean, the amount of stuff that I had built up on that blade, and I let it set 60 seconds the first time, wiped it off. It got most of it off, I'd say probably 90% of it. But I'm going for a second round now to see if we can get a little bit more off. But yeah, I approve this too. Check those guys out, man. Boeshield, the Boeing company, developed this stuff. It's got cool story on the back of the can. But check these guys out, man. Great product. If you got any value out of this video, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell icon so you're notified of any new videos we release. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.